kind of a new graphing thing, and we'll call it a day. How's that?
Shouldn't do that.
Okay, we just didn't know. I don't know.
Alright, so when I use substitution, what's the first thing I do?
You do the.
Let them equal. So this time, what's different, you'll notice, we have two quadratics, but it's the same thing. So I have negative x squared plus 5 equals x squared minus 4x plus 5. To the right,
Yeah, to the right.
because this x squared is positive. So to move my negative x squared over, I add. So how much x squared do I have on my right?
2x.
2x squared. Got a 0 on my left. 2x squared. Don't have any x's over here, so my negative 4x stays. What happens with 5?
They cancel out.
Cancel, comes 0. Go away. Can I take anything out of those two? 2x. So if I pull a 2x out, what am I left with here?
X minus 2.
X minus 2. Same thing from yesterday.
Yeah.
I have two solutions. My first one, if 0 equals 2x, what's 0 here? Or what's x here? 0. So x is 0.
X equals 2.
And x is 2 if you set x minus 2 equal to 0. Am I done?
No.
No, what are we going to do? Plug them in. Doesn't matter which one. Let's plug into the bottom. So if x is 0 here, I get out 5. And if x is 2, put in the bottom 2 squared 4. There seems to be a problem with these. Okay, when I plug 2 in, I take the 2 squared, which is 4, and make it negative. It's not negative 2 squared, it's 2 squared, and then make it negative, okay? So I have negative 4 plus 5, which is how much?
1.
1. So my point is 2, 1. So these are my two solutions. And again, if you want to check them in that top one, well, the 0 is easy, right? You get out 5, that one works. 2 squared 4, 4 minus 8, negative 4 plus 5, 1, that one works too.
How'd you get x equals 0?
Because this one is technically 0 equals 2x. 0 divided by 2 is 0. Other questions? Okay, next one. Again, we're going to substitute, which means I have to do what? Equal. So I have negative x squared plus 3x plus 7 equals, oops, it's not a negative. X squared plus 9x plus 7. Then what? Bring everything to the right, so I'm going to have 0 over here on my left. Negative x squared, if I bring it over, this becomes 2x squared. Yep, subtract 3 from 9, I get plus 6x. Again, what happens with my 7s? Cancel out. Just like last time, can I factor something out? 2x. What's left in my parentheses? X plus 3, good. From there, I get my 2 x's. If 0 equals 2x, what's my x here? 0. 0. And what's my x in the parentheses? Negative 3. Last step, plug it in. 0 is super easy. I get out what? 7. Does it matter which one you plug it into, top or bottom? No. You should both get the same answer. Some are just nicer. Where do you want to plug -3 in? Top. Okay. This time, since our number is -3, it is -3 squared. Do you guys know the difference between if I plugged it in here and here? This, if we plugged it in here, it's like -3 squared and then make it negative. So this one is the top one. So -3 squared is, so I get a 9 here, minus, what's 9 times 3? Don't forget I have a negative, plus 7 gives me how much? -11, yep. And you should get the same thing if you plug it into that bottom one too. No?
Don't.
Oh.
What is G? That's north. He is.
Okay, questions? Okay, this last one's a little bit different, but we still approach it the same way. Still set them equal. So -x squared minus 5 equals x squared minus 4x plus 5. Same thing, all my x positives, so move everything to the right. So I get 2x squared minus 4x. This time, do my 5's cancel?
Yeah, no, 10.
No, I get plus 10. Can you think of anything that factors nicely? We could pull a 2 out, yeah.
2x. No, because 10 doesn't have an
What is it? Yeah.
Just 2, right?
Yeah.
Does that factor nicely into 2 parentheses sets?
Yes.
No.
I don't think so. What should we do? Quadratic formula. I think so. So let's do that. What's my A gonna be?
-1. Oh, just kidding. 1.
1.
It'll work either way. You should have to simplify. Since we pulled our 2 out, let's just use this part.
1.
Okay? So my A would be 1, B would be, C would be 5. Quadratic formula, -b, so I got 2. Plus or minus square root of my b squared, which is -2 minus 4 times my a, which is 1 times my c, which is 5, all over 2 times a, which is 1. So far, so good? Okay. Let's simplify. I got 2 plus or minus. What does my square root become? I get what? 4 minus 20. -16.
That should be resolution.
Not really
Or
that
not
while you
even.
were gone.
I.
Did you hear me the I?
What?
You know anything about I?
Oh yeah.
Is 16 nice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is the square root of -16?
2 plus or minus I.
4 is the square root of 16. My negative
Yeah.
pulls out to be I. Can I simplify that?
Yes.
What?
1 plus or minus 2I.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that the answer?
That's my X value.
Holy buckets.
Holy buckets.
Holy Toledo.
Okay, so I know my x's. One's gonna be 1 plus 2i. My other x is 1 minus 2i. Which one of these is nice? Bottom?
Neither. Obviously the
Negative x squared minus 5. What? No. Negative x squared minus 5. I'm gonna write that down here. Okay. I gotta plug that whole 1 plus 2i in for x. So, negative 1 plus 2i squared minus 5. That is going to be my y. I just gotta figure out what happens when I square it all. Remember, when I square something, that's like 1 plus 2i times 1 plus 2i, and then my minus 5 at the end. FOIL. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is? Can we do this in one step? 1 times 2 again is? 2 plus 2. 2 times 2 is? 4. What happens with the i's? They make the positive 4 negative. Then I have a negative out here. So positive 4, this becomes negative, negative. Was that too much in one step?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Holy gosh.
What just happened?
So I have my negative sign. 1 times 1 is 1. Plus 2i plus 2i plus 4 times negative 1. That is this foiled. We just went over this. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2i is 2i. 2i times 1 is 2i. 2i times 2i is 4 times negative 1.
Oh, okay.
Okay. 2i becomes 4i. And then we just have to make everything negative. Okay. This is negative 4. What is 1 minus 4? We don't know what 1 minus 4 is. Negative 3 plus 4i. What do I do with my negative sign out front? Distribute it. So this negative 3 becomes positive 3. My positive 4i becomes minus 4i. Then I have my minus 5. What's 3 minus 5?
2.
Negative 2 minus 4i is my y. Oh gosh. It was. But it's not like you don't know how to do it. Pretty much. Okay, this time what am I plugging in for x?
1 minus 2i.
1 minus 2i. Well, you guys know how to square easily.
Really test this week?
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
1 minus 2i times 1 minus 2i. All minus 5. Have my negative sign out front. 1 times 1 is 1. Can we do it in one step this time? Minus 2i is negative 4i. What's a negative 2 times negative 2? Positive 4. When I multiply by I squared, the positive 4 becomes negative 4. Minus 5.
There's no more room.
You'll find room. 1 minus 4 is
False.
3, negative 3.
-3. What do I do with my negative sign out front? 3 plus 4i. What's my final answer? 3 minus 5 is how much? Plus 4i.
So
Couldn't it just be 0? No.
Yeah, is it always gonna be like that?
What?
I guess the opposite of it.
We didn't even. Oh, we didn't.
Aren't you glad we did though?
No, we have to graph it.
This is so extra.
Thank goodness the first two weren't like that. Okay.
I bet your homework's all over.
Yeah, that's gonna be your whole homework.
Okay,
Like one good
questions?
one, and the rest are bad.
Now we just gotta graph.
What?
Oh, one page. Wow.
You know how to graph though.
Yeah, but no, this is what I shot.
You don't. No. Okay, yesterday we talked about graphing parabolas. Or maybe it wasn't yesterday, 2 days ago. I think it was yesterday. How do I find a vertex? Negative b over 2a. You'll notice that again we have 2 quadratics, so we're gonna have 2 parabolas. Also we have inequalities. Throwback to, I don't know, a month ago. If there's an equal to sign, I have a solid or dashed line. Solid. So this one's gonna be solid. What about my bottom one? Dashed. Okay, so we're gonna find the vertex and we're gonna plot points, okay? Let's do the red one first. Molly says my vertex comes from negative b over 2a. My b is -4, so negative 4 gives me a positive 4. Over 2 times, what's my a?
-1.
-1. So 4 divided by -2 is how much?
-2.
-2. Plug it in for x into which one? The top one, yes. If I plug -2 in here, -2 squared is? So this is -4. -4 times -2 is +8. +3 gives me how much? 7. So my vertex for my top solid line is -2, 7.
Does it matter which one, like, plug it up to?
Yes, because they're 2 different parabolas. Okay, the good news is that our A is 1. So I can just follow my pattern. Notice it's negative, so we're going down from your vertex, down 1, right 1, down 2, right 2, down 4. And then right 3, down 9. And then mirror it on the left side. And we have a solid line. What?
For the third point, we go down 9 from where?
On the vertex. Okay, we good graph from the top?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on the bottom, how do I find my vertex? Same thing. Negative b over 2a. What's my b? There's nothing there, right? B is always attached to x. So if there's nothing there, what is it?
2, 1.
0. 0 divided by anything is 0. What do I do with that 0?
You plug it in.
Our b is always attached to an x. And you'll notice there is no x in here, so it's just 0. Plug it in, top or bottom? Bottom. Has to be the bottom. If I plug 0 in, I get out 3. That is my vertex for the second one. This time it opens upward, but I can still follow the same pattern. Right 1, up 1. Right 2, up 4. That's all I need to do, I think. And then dash your parabola.
So how do you know where to put the points when you're graphing it? Like up and over 1.
Because if I start at my vertex and go over 1 squared is 1. If I go from my vertex over 2 squared is 4, so we go up 4.
Oh, so you go up like square.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, we have inequalities. Last time we had inequalities, we had to shade. This is a less than sign. If I'm less than my solid red line, my shading outside or in between? In between. If I'm bigger than my green dashed, am I shading outside or in between? In between, so I'm shading that little sliver. Just like last time, if you want to use 0, 0 or anything point to plug in, you remember how to plug in? If it works, you shade that region. If it doesn't work, shade the other region. Okay, one more. We can do this. We good here? Alright. Here's my top line, solid or dashed?
Solid.
Solid. Bottom line, solid or dashed? Dashed. Let's do top line first. What do I need to find? Vertex. How do I do it? Negative b over 2a. My b is 5. My a is 1. So I get a nice decimal. Since you guys are so cooperative, I won't make you plug it in. I'll plug it in. Why are you laughing? Because you don't think you're cooperative? Look at this. So our vertex is the point negative 2.5, negative 10.25. When you don't get nice numbers, I would use a table. Remember when we used tables last time, you plug in points that are around your vertex. So like negative 2, if I plug that into our equation, I get out negative 10. If I plug in negative 1, I get out negative 8. If I plug in 0, I get negative 4. Okay. We all know how to plug in, yes? Okay. So let's plot our vertex. I think you're around the room a little bit. But I won't kill you. just turned out much better than mine. Okay, are you good with the red one?
Well, your first issue was negative 2.5. And on your, like, graph
So 1, 2, 2.5.
but on your, like, 3 graph or bar graph, whatever,
My table?
your table, you get negative 2.
Yeah, because I already plugged in negative 2.5. Okay, let's plot the green one, then we'll be done. My vertex, negative b over 2a, so negative 3 over 2 times 1 gives me negative 1.5. If I plug that in, I get out 1.75. Again, not nice, so let's make a table. If I have negative 1.5, what should I plug in?
1. Negative 1.
Negative 1. If I plug in negative 1, I get out 2. Let's plug in 0 as well. I get out 4. Okay, I'm going to go up a little bit. Plot our vertex and our points. Remember, this one's dashed. Oh boy. I think I just moved my whole graph, didn't I? That's okay. Okay, if I'm greater than my solid, where am I shading?
Oh.
In between or outside?
Outside.
Just 1 second.
Outside?
No, between.
Plug in 0, 0. Is 0 bigger than or equal to negative 4? Yeah, so shade where 0, 0 is. So that's here, in between. Plug in 0, 0 to my dashed. Is 0 less than 4? So we're shading this way. So I'm outside and inside. Outside my green, inside my red. Okay. I know some of them get to be a lot of work, but it's nothing you guys can't do. Sure. Questions?
How do you know how to shade again?
When you plug in 0, 0. So like 0, 0 is inside. I grab the red one. And 0 is greater than or equal to negative 4. So you shade where it works. If this was like negative 4 is bigger than 0, you would shade outside because that's not true.
Alright.
Does that make sense? Any other questions?